Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we're talking about Urban Legend. It's a movie from 1998, and it's one of those slasher horror movies, but I would call it very light horror movie, light horror, light slasher movie, because it's one of those movies in the 90s that came up with a lot of good-looking people in it, especially the women. This movie's got at least three to four hot women in it, and it's like, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream, those kind of movies where the horror is basically a lot tamer, but they did very well, and they still I guess they stand the test of time, because this is a movie which I remember going and watching it in the theaters with a couple of my friends. They liked it a lot, I liked it a lot. I've seen this movie at least 10 times since. So 1998, I would have been 21, almost 22 at the time that the movie was released, and we liked it. So I still do like it. So let's have a look at what this story is all about. So it's basically a slasher film, directed by Jamie Blanks. I don't think these names are very I don't really know who they are. Jared Leto, a very young Jared Leto. Alicia Witt. Oh man, I used to have the hots for her. I mean, she was smokingly, deliciously hot. I love redheads, by the way. Another redhead, sort of, I think she's a redhead, Rebecca Gayheart. I know her eyes are a little wild, but she is smoking hot. And Tara Reid when she used to be hot. I love the three women in this movie, these three hot babes back in the day. And you've also got Michael Rosenbaum with hair, and you've got Joshua Jackson as well. You've also got supporting performances from Robert Englund, the legend, but he is not a villain in this movie. You've got Loretta Devine, she's the comedic cop. You've got John Neville, classic actor who passed away a few years ago, and you've got a small cameo role by Brad Dourif, who is another horror icon. So basically this is a movie about they start off with Michelle Mancini, who is a Pendleton University student. She's she's coming back to the university, I guess, and she has to stop for gas. She is scared by the gas station attendant, who's got a speech impediment. He's not able to tell her exactly why he wants her to be there, because she gets scared thinking he's going to molest her or something like that, or mug her, and she runs away from there, gets into a car, maces him. But he wants to warn her that there's somebody in the backseat and he's hiding. So she gets killed by an assailant in a hooded parka, a woolen parka. So this news goes around the university, and there's people are told to be a little careful. We've got our main girl. She is Natalie. She actually used to know Michelle. They were close friends. So what actually happened was, this is basically where the urban legend part, and they actually learn this in their college class. I don't know what class they're actually learning, where they have to learn about urban legends, but basically things that are said to have happened but are mainly myths. Somebody is murdering people using all these urban legends. Things that they actually say and make up to scare people. This killer is actually going ahead and doing that. So she actually knew Michelle Mancini. They had done like a practical joke, one of the urban legends, where in Natalie's car, just before they go into university, they had driven without their lights on in the middle of the night, and the first person who flashed them tell them that their lights are off. They take a U-turn and start chasing them, doing their blinking lights, and that person actually has an accident, loses control of the car and dies. And so they stop being friends. However, they both actually went to the same university. What are the odds of that? Anyway, that's convenient, and I don't think they actually knew that both of them were actually in the same university. So she doesn't actually tell anyone initially, but she confides to her friends a little later. One of the guys, played by Joshua Jackson, who is this prankster kind of guy, he takes her to into the woods just to just to have a casual talk when he talks about, when she confides in him about this place, about this thing, and he tries to make the moves on her. She realizes that he's trying to do that, and she beats him up, punches him out. So while he's out taking a piss, the hooded assailant comes, strangles him, puts a noose around his neck, and then puts it around a tree and makes him go up the dangles him from the tree so much that his feet are actually hitting the car, and Natalie is scared. Damon's body disappears even though he's actually killed. She tries to get Reese, the campus security guard, to come there, but nobody actually believes her. They think that Damon was a prankster, must have pranked her, because he is known as the university prankster guy. And then Natalie's roommate, played by Danielle Harris. Danielle Harris in 2 movies consecutively. Yeah. She's this goth chick who likes to fuck other goth guys, and she keeps meeting them on the chat on the university chat room. They meet in her room and they have sex. So we see that happening earlier. So her name is Tosh. So she chats with somebody. That person is the killer, and they come and kills her. But they leave Natalie free, and then they write on the door, "Aren't you glad you didn't switch on the lights?" Everybody else believes that because Tosh was manic depressive, she killed herself, and that's a morbid suicide note. One second. But Natalie doesn't believe it. She knows somebody was there. Nobody believes her. There was no sign of anyone coming in, no breaking, nothing like that. Then finally, she joins up forces with Jared Leto's character. Name is Paul Gardner. He's the university. He's a columnist for a journalist for the university newspaper. Excuse me. But the president doesn't want him to do that. There's also this kind of like pushing you towards trying to see if there's another killer, because there's this story about something that happened in the 70s where a student goes on a rampage, murders everybody on his floor. He left one person alive, and that student happened to be their current professor, the one who's actually taking the urban legend class for them, and that's played by Robert Englund. And you're led to believe that it might be him, but he's not. Paul and Natalie go on their own investigations. They get into trouble because they sneak into Robert Englund, who plays Professor William Wexler. They sneak into his office to try and look for some clues, but they get caught, and they're going to be tossed out. He loses his columnist thing with the newspaper, and there's a chance that she might actually get tossed out of the university because her past is actually dragged up. But in the end, they're chased. Oh yeah, Tara Reid plays this DJ for the college. There's one good thing about this movie. There's a little less cliched dialogue. There is a little bit of it, but it's a little less. Especially Michael Rosenbaum plays kind of like the asshole of the group. His girlfriend is Tara Reid. She's killed as well. So as all these people get killed using these different urban legend techniques, at the end of it, it's revealed to be Natalie's really close friend at the university, played by Rebecca Gayheart. So apparently she happened to be the girlfriend of the guy who was killed in the accident, the one I told you about. So it's very convenient that she actually managed to go to the same university as both of them, managed to kill them, managed to become best friends with Natalie, and she also currently has the hots for Paul, but Paul and Natalie have eyes for each other, so she's upset about that as well. So why did she kill the other people? I have no clue. She kills Wexler. She kills the president. The president of the dean of the college. She kills a bunch of people for. I mean, I understand killing these two, Michelle and Natalie. Yes, but why did she kill the others? It's that she just goes out of her mind. Yeah, she does give out this impression towards the end that she's a little bit nuts. So she says, we were planning to get married and all that, but then I'll be there with Paul. I'll take care of him, and I'll frame you for the murder. But Paul comes in. Reese, the thing also comes in. Is a little towards the end. There's a little stuff like I mentioned about how she managed to do all this stuff, and there's this abandoned building where the massacre that happened in 1971 or something like that happened. I don't know how it happened that they managed to get. I mean, how did she know that Natalie will actually end up over there? How did the others? Hey, yeah. So yeah, convenience, but it's still entertaining. So towards the end, they believe that Brenda. There's also another misdirection towards Paul, but they believe that Brenda's actually died because she falls in. She's shot. She also falls into the river. Her body floats, but they don't actually find her body. And it turns out, at a different university, she's under a different name. They're telling her story, and she says, "Okay, that's not exactly how it happened. Let me tell you how the story really goes." She looks a little different. She straightened her curls. I actually like her curls quite a lot. So yeah, the killer managed to escape, so to speak. It is fun. It's a really fun movie. There's a few things that I don't buy, but overall, entertainment-wise, I think it's pretty. Like I've watched it so many times, it's still pretty entertaining for a movie of this sort. I will give it a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, 7 and above, I normally tend to watch it quite a lot. 7.5 is not bad for a movie of this nature. It was made on a budget of just $14 million. And I think it's somewhere in Toronto. The movie made $72.5 million at the box office, and it has got 2 sequels. I think I've seen the first sequel. I don't know about the third one. I will try and watch these 2 sequels a little later. But for now, 7.5 out of 10. See ya.